One day, the main character visited a female classmate who was always absent. The main character was here to give her some school printouts. Then his female classmate rapidly transformed into a formal attire, and she invited the main character to come inside her apartment. She looks healthy and fine, so the main character asks her to come back to school. However, it seems like she doesn't care about going back at this moment. After a while, the main character wanted to use her toilet, but he opened the wrong door. It was her bedroom, and it was filled with thousands of manga and anime figurines. The main character was surprised that she was a hardcore otaku, and he was very excited seeing her collections. Both of them share the same hobbies, because the main character was a hardcore otaku as well. Then the very serious female classmate was now showing her true colors. After that, they started a long conversation until 8 p.m. The main character was now about to go home, but she requested him to stay longer for more talking sessions. The main character stayed longer, so she went to get some tea for him. Suddenly, the main character was filled with curiosity, and he wanted to know the contents of her sketchbook. Then he was surprised, because she was drawing gay stuff in her sketchbook. Her secret was now discovered, and she wanted the main character to stop watching. The main character is not gay. However, he keeps looking at the artwork called, "If there is a hole, there's a goal." She was now overcooked, and she thought that the main character would laugh at her drawings. However, the main character was amazed that she was a good artist. She thought that he was lying. So, the main character told her that it was just normal to have some cultural mindset, and there is nothing to be ashamed about that hobby, because women of culture and men of culture are proud of it. After hearing those encouraging sentences, she thanked the main character. Suddenly, the main character realized that she was skipping class, because she was just drawing gay genre. Then she explained to the main character, that whenever she started drawing her hands were unstoppable. The main character told her to limit her cultural thoughts, and go back to school. Suddenly, the main character realized that she was not drawing the PP correctly, so he described the features of a real-life meat. She has never seen a legendary sword, so she only relies on her imagination. Then the main character was joking that she can see his hidden weapon for reference. She became very interested with that offer, so the main character snapped her back to reality. He was telling her that it was common sense to keep it hidden, because she won't even show her hidden assets. However, she exceeded the main character's expectation, and she was showing her sacred melons. She was now done unboxing herself, so the main character had no choice but to cooperate. After that, the main character let her see a 90 degrees full-grown mushroom. Then she started the inspection procedure. Suddenly, she can't control herself, and she was now devouring his 100% organic meat. Then she was able to get an extra thick fresh meat juices. The main character noticed that she was creating her own water fountain, but she was denying his allegations. So, the main character inspected her underground cave, and he was drinking the leaking natural crystal clear water. Suddenly, she created a tsunami, so the main character avoided that tragedy. However, her educational gay books were very unlucky from that storm surge. Then she was blaming the main character for not drinking the entire ocean water she created. She will only forgive the main character if he will continue to the main event. So, the main character started the SCP, or also known as the standard clapping procedure. She was a cute lady, so the main character did not hesitate to give her a creamy vanilla milkshake. After that, she thanked the main character. Because of his effort, she can now finally draw a proper and realistic PP. In the next scenario, she is now back to school. Suddenly, the class president approached the glasses lady, and she wanted to have a private conversation. Then they went to the rooftop, and the class president was asking her if she was dating the main character. The eyeglass lady denied that she had feelings for the main character, and they were just otaku friends. The class president was the childhood friend of the main character, and she was in love with the main character for a long time. So, she was just checking if the glasses lady have feelings for the main character. However, the class president noticed that the glasses lady was obviously lying. During the weekend, the glasses lady was doing her personal self-care routine, and she was thinking of the main character to gain motivation for her solo activities. After that, she doesn't feel satisfied, because she was feeling lonely for denying her feelings. Suddenly, she was hungry, so she decided to go to a convenience store. However, the main character was already at her door. She thought that the main character would spend his weekend with the class president, but the main character was so dense that he invited the class president to the glasses lady's apartment. Therefore, the date was cancelled. She was mad at the main character for inviting his date to another lady's house. Then suddenly, she starts crying, and she was yapping that she was not the type of lady the main character likes. The main character had enough of that machine gun mouth, so he kissed her for romantic purposes, and he confessed his feelings of love. Then she was surprised that it was a mutual feelings. In addition, she complained to the main character that he must confess first, before kissing the princess. Therefore, they redo the kissing scene to follow the proper romantic order. The next day, the glasses lady have a conversation with the class president about the truth. The class president easily understands the situation. So, she decided that the glasses lady will be her rival of the main character's heart. In the next scenario, the main character visited his girlfriend. However, there was a third party interrupting the scenario. Of course, it will be rude to send her away, so she was invited inside. Then they were just watching anime the entire time. Therefore, the class president takes out the Japanese magical fermented water for more entertainment. The drinking session has begun, and the ladies have started their women competition. After a while, all of them were drunk. Then the class president was very clingy with the main character. So, his girlfriend grabbed the main character away. However, the class president took the main character again. Therefore, the girlfriend kisses the main character to assert dominance, and the class president was mad at that shameless activity in front of the single people community. In addition, the girlfriend was not contented yet, and she was doing the gulp gulp 3000 in front of the class president. Then the class president was confronting them for shamelessly doing their cultural activities in front of another person. However, the glasses lady was justifying her actions as normal. Therefore, the class president cannot stop the cultural event. Suddenly, the glasses lady invited the class president to join, and the class president immediately tried holding the legendary sword of destruction. Then the two ladies receive an explosive facial therapy for their skincare routine. The glasses lady was drinking some vanilla milkshake, so she decided to share some with the class president using the purification kissing method. It was her first time trying that kind of vanilla milkshake, and her natural instinct was awakened by that special drink. After that, the glasses lady let the main character see the Grand Canyon of the class president. However, this Grand Canyon was filled with water, so the main character was drinking every single drop. Meanwhile, the girlfriend was jealous, and the main character was stolen from the class president. Then the main character and his girlfriend were doing the clapping ritual in front of the class president. The main character reached his limit, and he donated his creamy vanilla milkshake to his girlfriend. Suddenly, the class president was begging the main character to bless her with the powers of his legendary sword, because she was also in love with the main character. Then the main character granted her request, and he was now making her feel the power of his rod of destruction. Meanwhile, the girlfriend was pissed, so she wanted the main character's attention. Therefore, the main character decided to have a group activity to equally share his creamy vanilla milkshake. After a while, the main character was drained. However, the two ladies won't stop absorbing his energy. Suddenly, the two ladies decided to share the main character, because it was the most peaceful method. So, the main character gained two girlfriends. In the next scenario, the main character was worried about his glasses girlfriend, because she went back to her hometown with a message saying, "Save me." A few days later, she returned, and the "Save me" message was actually for her game character. The main character was worried about nothing, so she comforted the main character between the boundaries of her big mountain ranges. Then she performed the vanilla milkshake extraction process, and she managed to drink the 100% fresh vanilla milkshake straight from the source. After that, she wanted the main character to relax, since she will be riding on the Iron Pegasus. She has not performed the clapping exercises for a while, so she was having some tears of joy. The main character noticed that she was weakened by his legendary sword. Therefore, the main character took advantage, and he was giving her his maximum power. Then they reached the finish line together. Suddenly, the class president and the blonde teacher entered the scenario, and both of them have seen the clapping ritual. The glasses lady made everyone worry, when she was away without giving them details. So, the class president and the blonde teacher decided that they will punish the glasses lady. However, they also include the main character without any reasons. The class president and the blonde teacher wanted to share the piece of meat, but the class president was not sharing her food with the blonde teacher. The blonde teacher was bored, so she decided to play with the glasses lady using an unholy wriggling device for backdoor attacks. Meanwhile, the main character was a greedy man. So, he must now provide the special needs of the three ladies. Anyways, the class president rides on the Iron Pegasus, and she was trash-talking the qualities of the glasses lady and the blonde teacher. Of course, the two ladies were pissed with that friendly fire. So, the blonde teacher unleashed her double-edged plastic weapon. The class president apologized to the teacher immediately. However, it was too late, because the blonde teacher have forcefully entered the forbidden zone. Then the class president was now experiencing a double trouble. After that, the main character surprised his blonde teacher, and he was trespassing in her off-limits area. It was a dirty tunnel, and the main character was her first explorer in that region. Meanwhile, the glasses lady was mad, because she was left out from their group activity, and she wanted the main character to punish her also. The main character rejected her request, because his little buddy was now low battery. Therefore, she let the main character see her juicy oyster. Then the main character became full battery, and he was clapping the glasses lady. After a while, they decided to have a 1 versus 3 battle, and the main character accepted that challenge. Then the main character gives each lady a big bang explosion using his remaining strength. That's the end of this cultural anime recap. The 3 ladies were always draining the main character, but all of them have the intention of marrying our lucky man of culture. Anyways, here is your special vanilla sauce, and please make sure to limit thy consumption to the culturally matured people only, and thank you for watching.